Comedy Kitchen with Chef Cell was recorded on a cell phone in front of a fake audience. What?
Look at this, folks. Cinnamon bun cake. Not bunt, bun. That's right. Comedy Kitchen with Chef Cell here on YouTube and sometimes on Instagram. If I ever find out how to put those videos, you got to download it. Hey guys, Chef Cell right here. That's right, Comedy Kitchen with Chef Cell here on YouTube and sometimes on Instagram. If I ever find out how to put those videos, you got to download it. Thank you, subscribers, 109,000 of you. Keep tuning in. It's really great stuff because it's fun. You know, you don't have the guy going, well, actually what I do, Actually, I do that. And 1.6 million views on the horizon. I mean, lots of fun stuff going on. I want to thank you again, subscribers. Thank you for liking. Like right now. You could do it while you're watching this. Hit the thumbs up, boom, hit the bell, boom. I'm on once a week. I'm on Facebook a little bit. Every time I, have a new show, I put it on. Sometimes I put shorts there. Anyway, just follow me all over the place. It'll be good. It'll be good. Now, I made a cake from my wife's office. They had a little Halloween party yesterday. Big shout out to Berkshire Hathaway, Myrtle Beach. Give yourselves a hand. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah. That's right. They're great over there. Go in there, open the door and say, dude, I want to buy a house. They'll set you up. I know it's not that easy. Or is it? Anyway, speaking of easy, how about a cinnamon bun cake? Cake! And this little frosting on top, just like a cinnamon bun. Right? But it's a freaking 13 by 9 cake. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. And it's gluten-free. So let's get started. Other Chef Cell is ready. He has all the ingredients lined up in the kitchen. I'm going to give it off to him. And we will see you at the end of this deliciousness. Go. Thank you, Chef Cell. Other Chef Cell here. All right, stop. Dry ingredients. This is for the cake. The cake dry ingredients. Differentiated there. I will differentiate as we go, you'll see. 1 cup or 120 grams of superfine brown rice flour. The same amount of superfine white rice flour. Let them battle it out. 1/2 cup or 60 grams of sorghum flour. 1/2 cup or 60 grams of tapioca starch or flour. Same thing, it's the same thing. I don't know why they do that. 1/4 cup or 30 grams of cornstarch. 1 teaspoon, not 2, 1, of psyllium husk powder. 1/2 teaspoon xanthan gum. 1 tablespoon baking powder. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And 1 cup or 200 grams of granulated sugar. Get yourself a dry whisk. That was not the church. I just banged the pot. Whisk it around. Whisk it around. Put that aside, and now we will get the wet. Very simple. I already started with 2 room temperature large eggs. Ladies and gentlemen, mash them up, mashed eggs. What I'm going to do now is very important because gluten-free flours, as you may know, I've been telling you every time I've been working with them, I don't know where you've been. It's okay, it's okay. You have to get these eggs white, pale, fluffy. So I'm going to get the KitchenAid, put a cage on it, fluff them up, put it on high. Start on medium, put it on high. I'll go get it, I'll show you. I transferred it to my KitchenAid bowl. The other bowl was a little more cinematic than this to show you the eggs. Nah, I just forgot. Aforementioned, wire whisk. Wire whisk. Oh, it's a whisk. Anyway. And let's start at medium, bring it up to high slowly, total about 3 or 4 minutes. All right, it's been about 3 minutes. let's bring it down to slowness. So this cup of whole milk, room temperature, see what I did there? Doesn't splash. Get it in there. And I melted just until the melting point, so it doesn't get too hot. 1 stick of butter, unsalted please. Or half a cup for you people that are saying, hey, what's the measurement? You said this was the part where we were gonna... Calm down. Slowly get it in. Teaspoon vanilla extract. I always go a little more because there's something wrong with me. Teaspoon and 3/4. All right, that's been about another 3 minutes. I'm going to bring it down medium low. I transferred that dry stuff, I don't know if you can see it here, a little bit, right? Yeah, whatever. Into a big pitcher so it's easier to pour. So I'll be pouring that. If you don't see it, just know it's going in there. How's that? A little at a time. Matter of fact, I'm going to turn this down more. There we go. About a cup. Eyeball it. About a cup at a time, then bring it back up. Just keep turning it down. Pour more. Turn it up until you lose your freaking mind. Stop and scrape. A lot of that flour sticks on the sides. You just, you know, evict it. You know, make like a cake landlord. Just evict it. What are you doing? No final notice, no first notice, just evict it. All right, I'm going to bring it up for another 30 seconds. And then pour it into your panned 13 by 9 baking dish. Here we go. Bring it up high, get some air in there. All right, it's been about a minute. Thank you very much. Whisk. All right, I'd set the batter off to the side, put it in a medium bowl. And here I have 2 room temperature sticks of butter. That's a half a cup. So leave it out the night before if you're afraid of little gremlins get in there because you're leaving butter out. Then just leave it out a couple hours in the morning and you'll be ready for the afternoon festivities. Into that, we're going to put some brown sugar, packed cup, 200 grams, and 2 tablespoons tapioca starch, or flour, whatever you want to call it, same thing. I have a call into the Tapioca Foundation of America. They're going to tell us why they do that. No, I don't. And a big old semi-heaping tablespoon of cinnamon should do it. Cinnamon's strong. Be careful, folks. Be careful. Now I'm just going to carefully kind of mix that around with the whisk. And I switch to the spatula. Trying to get that all mixed in. I'm going to add a little bit of milk at a time. All right, that's enough. I just put about a couple of tablespoons of milk to loosen it up because what we're going to do is after we put the batter in this 13 by 9 that's waiting on deck, after you panned it, and by the way, 350 on that oven, because we're going to take the 𝐬𝐮𝐿𝐫𝐠𝐿𝐵 skewers, the wooden ones, and we're going to do a little design after we plop this all over the place. So it has to be swirl friendly. All right, that's ready. Put that aside. Bring in this little guy. Give it a pan. I want you to get your cake rods, 4 of them. Remember those from last time? And I want you to pan them over the sink, otherwise you get everything over the counter. And we're going to put these 1, 2, 3, 4, right in there like that. And here was our batter. It's all fluffy and ready to go. Well, yeah, you are. See if I can get this on camera for you. It's kind of thick. I don't want a wet batter when it comes to gluten-free because that just defeats the purpose of trying to get this thing baked all the way through. Trust me, I made a million of these. Cakes, that is. And do a little spread out. And here's that stuff. And make a couple of plops. One there. Try it here. Try it here. Try it here. Right here, here. And I'll make a couple of little ones on the edge there. Never forget the edges. Yeah, put it there and there. Doesn't matter. My favorite word, aforementioned. See? A little skewer, a little wooden skewer. Just kind of dig it in the middle and drag it through. Go any which way you want. Now we have our little rods. Stick them in. We'll cover that up with a little spatula. 2, 3. Get that closer to the edge there. Don't baby it. 4. Little spatula action. And back to our swirler. Okay, we're going to bake this as is on a non-rim cookie sheet, silicone mat on top. If you don't have a mat, just stick it on a sheet. Start at 350. Check it at 20 minutes. If it doesn't seem like it's happening in here and around here or whatever, but it will. But if it doesn't seem like that and it's only getting darker and darker and darker and you're getting scared, down to 325. Toothpick it right in between these posts. And if it's dry, we make the next thing, the cream cheese glaze. You can make that while it's baking. You got like a freaking half hour. Go. Now for the glaze, while that's baking, it's called economy of time or motion or something. It's pretty good. 4 ounces. That's a half a block of a regular cream cheese, but softened. 113 grams if you're counting those. Powdered sugar, 1 cup or 120 grams. And then we got 2 tablespoons of milk and a half a teaspoon of sugar. I combined it here. I'm going to pour this in just a little of that first because powdered sugar is a pro at disappearing at the first sight of any liquid. It just runs away. And we want a pourable, a drippable, pourable glaze. We don't want a milkshake here. Probably just a little bit more like a thimbleful. That's a new baking term. It's a new baking term. I want it to drip off a little bit better than that even. Oh man, I'm talking about like a half a thimble now. Boom, that's it. Now I'm going to put this in a smaller bowl, get a pouring apparatus, and maybe if I can put it on a teaspoon and drizzle it, I can probably do that too. Look at this, folks. Cinnamon bun cake. Not bunt, bun. Looks like the real thing, doesn't it? And those rods come right out. Just invert the cake over a cooling rack, such as this. And then invert it, pull them out and then invert it again. Very simple. And I made a nice thin layer here of the frosting, which is that cream cheese glaze that we made. So remember, like, subscribe, get it done, folks. This is Chef Cell, Comedy Kitchen with Chef Cell. See you next time.